the Grit Crusade. Today is a very special episode. I have a co-host today. So along with me, Brooke, your regular Grit Crusade host, we have my executive assistant and dear friend, Dia Bates.
Yay!
And Dia is here because
this is your birthday episode.
this is my birthday episode. So
Happy birthday to you.
I know, right? She got me a little cupcake all blown up. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can see it. If you are not, if you're listening on your favorite podcast streaming platform, it is blown up behind me. It's like they call it Mylar. Are they Mylar balloons?
Yeah.
Like type things. And it has like a bottom on the cupcake, but it really looks like it's sitting on 2 bananas. And so we're not really sure what that's supposed to be. So for our purposes, it looks like a cupcake on bananas.
Yeah. Cupcake on bananas.
So today we're going to do a special episode. So something kind of totally different than what we normally do on the podcast. So if it's your first time, welcome. We hope you enjoy the channel and enjoy this episode and check out some of our other episodes. And we're interviewing guests and talking about real stuff. But today, Dia gets to be our host with the Brooks Q&A.
Wonder what direction this is going to go.
I know. I'm kind of scared. Like normally I'm like all prepped and ready for the episodes and have all my notes. And I have nothing. I don't have anything in my hands. I don't have my clipboard. I've got nothing. I'm just here. And so I'm going to turn the reins over to Dia, and she is going to be our host for the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ready to get started?
I guess.
Okay.
Here we go. All right.
So we had a few questions that came in on your birthday Q&A.
Okay.
So those are thrown in to the rest of these questions.
The guest questions are thrown in, and the other ones are your fault.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll take ownership of these.
Okay. All right.
All right. So tell me your best birthday yet.
My best birthday yet. All right. Let me think back. Oh, that's a tough one. Okay. So
I had to go with something birthday themed.
Yeah, I know, right? My best birthday yet. Like from growing up, I remember having like a friend sleepover when I was in like the 5th grade, and that was really cool because I know it's probably hard for you to believe now, but I would never had like a big friend crowd just like I don't now. So I'm like a introverted extrovert, I think is what they call it. So I did have a sleepover when I was like 10 and had like 3 or 4 of my friends over. And so that was really fun. My mom had like a cake and we just like watched movies. So as a kid, I think that was it. My 30th birthday was pretty awesome. I had a surprise birthday party.
What?
Yes. Like got into a limo, thought I was going to Cajuns in Little Rock, over in West Little Rock. And it's closed down now, but it was there then. It was a big, like, on the Arkansas River steak, lobster kind of place. And they literally like drove me around the corner from my parents' house, and they had a big surprise party for me at the clubhouse there in Hurricane Lake Estates.
That sounds like
fun.
I
was completely surprised. I had no idea.
I might need to talk to the orchestrator of that event so I can get some tips.
Because like I had no idea. I think it was because something else was planned. So like I already knew what was about to happen.
Was it on your birthday?
It was either on my birthday or maybe like the day or so before, or something like that. Like I don't know. Yeah, I can't really remember if it was on my birthday, but that was pretty good because I thought we were just going out with a couple couples, and so I had like a really cute new dress and gone shopping, and it was like really excited about this dinner. And riding a limo to Little Rock. And I probably count on one hand the times I've been in a limo. I mean, even if I've been in one, like, I don't know, maybe once or twice. And so that was really fun. But I'm like, so you just paid a limo driver to literally drive me around the corner? And they were like, yeah, sure did. It was a good distraction, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
I know. So I had no idea. And they had like a red carpet theme, and it was fun.
Cool.
So that was really exciting. It's hard to surprise me.
I know. That's why I said I need to find out the orchestrator.
A couple birthdays ago, so like in 2020, so I guess I would have been 36 that year. Justin surprised me with a birthday dinner, like kind of like on the fly. And there were like 8 couples there and like a couple friends and stuff that had come. And so that was, I think I like surprises. Yeah. Yeah. So long answer to the short question. I think I like surprise birthdays.
Okay.
Yeah. Write that down. You need a little pencil?
Yeah. Brooke likes surprises.
I love surprises. And I love surprising people. And my husband hates surprises.
I've seen you when you have something to surprise someone, and you're literally like
Kid in the candy store. It's the best.
Yes,
I love it.
You love it.
I love it.
Okay. This is one like a little bit more lighter, but what kind of advice would you give your younger self?
Oh, my younger self. There's no right way to do it. There's no right way to do it, and slow down.
I like that. That's some great advice.
Slow down. Yeah. I was driving to drop my son off for school this morning, and there were 2 things that I kind of came through my head. And I was thinking, there's only 2 things that can never be taken away from you in life. And that's your education and your breath. And I learned way too late in my journey how important it was to breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
that's some good advice.
Yeah.
What would you say is the best part about being your age?
Oh, so because when this episode drops, I'll be 39. Yeah. So, wisdom,
Mm,
and for me, emotional maturity. So I feel like for the most of my business journey, so I've been self-employed or an entrepreneur for a decade, almost a decade now. And I feel like that I did not have the emotional maturity to separate my emotions from the business as much. For example, like, if a business was not doing well and maybe like some things had changed, we're not making the profit we used to be making, like I would take that on as like my personal failure in life instead of being able to realize like it's not me. Like I'm always me. That is just that's something else that I birthed. Does that
I
make
think,
sense?
yeah, but I think also too that comes from how much you've put into
Yeah,
it.
that's true.
So
That's true. That's
you
fair.
have invested emotion into those,
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but that was great.
Oh, was it
Do
like a
you
pageant answer or something? That's a good one, huh?
It
Yeah.
was a good
All right.
answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never been in a pageant, so my mom wouldn't let me do that growing up.
Really?
Nuh-uh.
No.
Rather
What
random Q&A
I
you
don't
didn't ask.
I honestly could not see you.
I wanted to do one in high
Did
school
you?
so bad. Well, they were giving away scholarship money. And
Oh,
I was all about trying to get my school paid for so
uh-huh.
I didn't have student loans, right?
Yeah.
And she was like, absolutely not. You will use your brains and not
Okay.
your looks. And plus, you have no talent.
So off off my questions, but
Yeah.
I have one now. What would have been your talent?
I don't even remember because I can't
Because I love
sing.
you, but you can't
Yeah, I
sing.
can't sing. I can't dance. I can't play an instrument. I cannot remember. It was probably like I had probably found like one of the pageants in like the Miss USA line where there's no talent required. Knowing
Okay.
me, I was like strategic about it. Was like, girl ain't got no talent. Definitely not getting up there doing that. Yeah,
Okay. I
yeah,
can settle with that
yeah.
one.
There we are.
Do you like to celebrate your birthday?
Yes.
Good.
Yes, I think I do. My husband's like kind of the opposite, but
No,
no,
that's
I do. I like to celebrate everyone's birthday, but I also feel like that. I kind of just like to celebrate in life
mhm.
even more than just your birthday. I just
Mhm.
think the birthday it's not really the presents. It's more like people taking time to come together and love on you. Does
Yeah,
that make
I
sense?
agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is your way of showing up for yourself every single day?
Oh, that's good. So, I mean, I think it would be self care, like for me, which is like making my lemon water in the mornings, making my celery juice, even when I don't want to clean the juicer, making sure I've got working out. You're laughing because you know it's a pain. Making sure I plan my workouts ahead of time so I'm actually still being active. Those things help me show up for myself and be ready for the life that I need to live, or that maybe the life
That
to
you
be
want
ready
to
for
live.
not just that I want to live, but be ready for the life that I've designed. Because like I've designed a very busy, active life and I need
Mhm.
to be able to be mentally present and I want to be able to be like in the moment with my son and stuff like that. So to do that, gotta be healthy and have a lot of energy.
Well, you've shared with me how important it is to you to get those workouts in so that you can feel
Yes.
better.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
makes you feel accomplished and
I have ADHD and I'm not medicated anymore. And so a lot of those things help with my body being clean, focus,
mhm.
all of that stuff all kind of plays together in there.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've talked about that on the podcast yet. Have I? About my ADHD and
I
medication?
think you
A
have.
little bit, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you
Yeah.
haven't gone into like
Yeah.
detail. Yeah. So this is a question that came in from your birthday Q&A that you shared on your
Oh,
social media.
okay.
Okay. What is your favorite childhood memory?
Oh, that one's so hard. So I think I just have to put a group of memories together because growing up with my grandparents at the track is definitely like amongst the greatest memories. So my
When
grandpa,
you say track though,
yeah,
for the maybe the
people,
listeners that
yeah,
haven't heard, what
yeah.
does that
So my
mean?
grandparents owned my mama Carolyn, which is my mom's mom, and my papa Wendell, whom they were never married, and he's not biologically my grandfather, but I grew up at their house on the weekends and during the summer all the time. They owned the Centerville Round Track and the Centerville Drag Strip in Centerville, Arkansas, which is in Yale County or Pope County, one of the two. I think it's Yale County, right outside Russellville. And
Mhm.
so I grew up working at the track. I'd work the gates. When I was 10, 11 years old, working the snack bar, and I would have to sign in and out to get my little $5 I made for the night or
Yeah.
whatever it was. My grandma was keeping the books. And I grew up there. I grew up working hard, and they shaped a lot of who I am for
Is
sure.
the track still open
Yeah, the
today?
tracks are still open. They're actually owned by two different couples named Patty and Wayne.
Okay.
Super weird. They are not related. But one is owned by Patty and Wayne, and the other one's owned by Patty and Wayne. So
Okay.
Styles and Skuggs, I think. Skuggs. Stugs, something. I'm close. I'm really close. But anyway, so yeah, so the tracks are still open. That's a big culture,
Mhm.
stock car racing and drag racing. And I learned to drive on the tracks. I learned to parallel park between the big, giant, huge tractor tires that are in the center that make the infield. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, all the things.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah. So those are some, like my greatest memories.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just being a kid.
I like that. This is another question from your birthday Q&A that we put on your social media.
Okay.
What would you like to do but haven't done yet before you turn 39?
Before I turn 39. So between now and when this podcast launches, which is about 6 weeks, right? No. Yeah. August. Yeah. Yeah. About
Yeah,
6
it's
weeks.
about
Okay. I
6
guess we're about
weeks.
6 weeks ahead. So what do I want to do between now and then? I haven't really thought about that. That's good. That's really
It's
good.
a good
Well, so
question.
my husband and I have our second wedding anniversary coming up between
Mhm.
now and then. And September, October, November starts getting really busy season for us. So definitely carving out some time for us to spend together there. Um, let's see, what else do I wanna
Okay,
do?
guys, you heard it here first.
Yes, yes,
She wants to carve out some
yes,
time,
I
so
do.
we're
And
gonna
you know
make
what
that
my
happen.
husband told me this week?
What's that?
We were laying on the couch and he said, "You're my dream girl." Is that not the sweetest thing in the whole
I can
world? Like, is
so
that not
totally
like
see
he's
Justin
never
say
said that.
that.
I don't think maybe he has like when we were first dating, right? And like everything's like sunshine and rainbows. And I looked at him and was like, I mean, what? That like makes every girl's world turn around, right? I
Yeah,
don't care like what's going on in life. Your husband says that to you, and you're like,
yeah.
he does love me. I
Well, of
do
course.
exist. Like, it was just so
Yeah.
sweet. So anyway, but yeah, spending some time together on an anniversary because it's easy for that to kind of skate by. And he's
Well,
not a celebrator. Like he's a worker and he has amazing work ethic, but he just works and he'll just work straight through life.
for those that may not know, though, you two are some of the most busiest people in Saline County, probably in the world. So the fact that you want to do
Yeah.
that, we're gonna make that
And we
happen.
don't want to be busy, all
Yeah,
the
not
time.
all the
I
time.
work towards not busy, but
Yeah,
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 a lot going on.
yeah. So, what are 3 unique skills that have helped you become successful?
3 unique skills. So grit, I would say the first one is, and that was not because that's the name of the podcast. But I think that in life, 100% of the people on this planet are going to go through tough stuff. You're going to have hard things happen to you. And like, you can call it grit, you can call it tenacity, whatever you want. But it's the ability to know that none of those moments define you. Like, losing my mom to suicide does not define me. Losing a grandparent, you losing your spouse, like that doesn't define who we are. It's part of us. It never goes away. We always carry it with us. But businesses failing, going bankrupt, like that's still not who you are. It's
Mm-mm.
still just something that you've been through, and knowing that you can get through anything that you set your mind to get through. So I think grit's the first one, or tenacity. I think grit. I think it's almost the same thing. Tenacity is like willing to stand longer, maybe. I don't know, but close. I'm not Webstering it over here. But that's the first one. Would you say 3 traits? Is that was
3
that 3
skills.
skills? Okay,
Mhm.
yeah, grit. So because I think grit is a learned skill. I don't think it's something that everyone's
No,
born
it's
with, but
not.
I think you can learn it. You can learn to push through. Um, the next skill would be people, like emotional intelligence. Yeah. So I could probably confidently say that I made it to 30 years old without ever really spending much time thinking about how anyone else felt. I
Man,
know, right?
but you're doing
And
something
it's
about it
not.
now.
I've always been a nice, kind person. I mean, I'm sure I've showed my ass sometimes, right? And I'm sure I was young and dumb and said stuff that I shouldn't have, or treated people ways that probably wasn't the best. But it's never been intentional. And so it wasn't that I didn't care about humans. My brain moved so fast that I wasn't ever really like consciously processing. Like, I wonder what kind of lens they see that through. I wonder how that they respond to that happening to them.
It's funny that you use the term lens because as you were saying all that, in my mind, it's you have a different lens
On
than
life.
most people,
Yeah.
though.
Oh,
Like,
yeah?
well, like even business wise,
Yeah.
like at the end of the day, I feel like sometimes you just gonna get the job done, and that's just it.
Yeah. And
Like you
so
care about the
I
people.
do care about people and always have, but I think now I'm so much more conscious about how different people process
Yes,
things differently and how it affects them differently. And not that I ever didn't think people weren't affected. Like I was a loving and like compassionate and there for you person. But now I feel like I have a intuition now where I'm so much more aware and cognizant
awareness.
about how other people are processing through what's going on in their lives.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
And can I ask how old were you when you lost your mom?
29.
Okay, so
So
do you think
yeah,
there's
there's
something
probably something there.
Mhm.
Yeah. And so my whole entire life, my mom always told me and my dad that we were not, we had no empathy. And she was right. She's totally right. So you have no empathy for what other people are going through. Like that's what she would tell me all the
Yeah.
time. And I didn't. I didn't. And it wasn't on purpose. But I think those things, those hard things in life, they change
Mhm.
us. And
Absolutely.
if you allow them, they'll change you for the better.
Mhm.
They really will change you for the
Yeah.
better, you know? So and for me, emotional intelligence was a skill. It was not something I was born with. It was not innate to me.
Absolutely.
It was not something that came natural to me. So grit, emotional intelligence, and the other skill would be delegating.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's been epic in my quality of life. So, in July of 21, we decentralized our leadership. And so used to it was like me and all the people that worked with our companies, and here we go. And everybody had to ask Brooke a question. And about a year and a half before that, so right before the pandemic, I had
Mhm.
told Lisa and Justin, who are two of my very closest business associates, I said, I don't know what else to do. I've done everything I know to do with these businesses. I need some more training. I don't have any more skills to help us. Like, here we are. I'm a stressed out disaster. I have an infant, and I don't know how else to run these companies to make them
Mhm.
better. And so we found a small business boot camp in Ohio, Metzger Small Business Boot Camp, which you've been to now, and you can attest to that as well. And it was life changing for me. It taught me a process and a way to truly delegate in order to allow other people to fulfill their own goals professionally. So it
Yeah.
wasn't just me giving people stuff to do, it was me truly helping other people grow into amazing leaders, whether that is with our company or other companies or whatever down the road. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
So we got grit,
got grit.
emotional intelligence, and delegating.
Delegation,
Okay,
yeah.
I
Was that
like
your
that.
question?
It was my
That was a hard
question. I
question. That
like
made me think a lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
What was your first concert?
First one I can remember is 98 Degrees.
Me
Oh,
too,
Barton
with
Coliseum.
LFO.
Yes.
Yes.
And Nicholas Shea. Okay, so I'm a rule follower in life, right? For the most part. But this day, my stepmom Connie had taken me to the concert with a few of my girlfriends when I was young. And we snuck down on the floor. We did not have floor tickets. We did not at all. We were up in the nosebleeds, and we snuck right down on that floor, right in front of that stage.
How?
I have no idea how. All I know is I'm sitting there, and the Nicholas Shea sweat is literally dripping right in front of me, and
Oh,
I feel
wow.
like I am in heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I don't know if there was a concert before that one, but that was probably pretty close to my first
That was
concert.
literally
It was
my
definitely
first
my
concert.
so the first one for sure that like I chose to go to, like maybe my parents took me somewhere when I was younger and I don't
Yeah.
remember. Yeah, right. But yeah, 98 Degrees.
Uh-huh.
Oh baby,
Yeah,
yes, they were
me
it.
too.
That was back in the
Mhm.
Britney and Justin
Yes,
days.
it was.
Yeah.
What is your all-time favorite movie?
Oh, my all-time favorite movie. Okay, so historically, it has been The Bodyguard.
Okay.
Whitney Houston, Kevin Costner. But I also think that's because that's the first rated R movie my mom let me see.
Oh, okay.
So then she let me watch Pretty Woman after that
Yeah.
because my mom was like pretty ticky about what I watched on TV. So I really like The Bodyguard. But I am a Grinch fan, like a Jim Carrey Grinch fan. Yeah. I mean,
I like the original
I've
too.
probably
Yeah.
seen that Jim Carrey Grinch movie like I cannot even tell you how many dozens of times.
Mhm.
So um yeah, those would probably be like two of my all-time favorite. But I'm not a big movie rewatcher. Like
Okay.
I walk in and my husband's watching like Dumb and Dumber or like stuff from the early 2000s, late 90s. I'm like, "What are you watching?" And he's like,
Dumb and
yeah.
Dumber.
And I'm like, "Why?" And he's like, "I don't know. Just turn it on." Like I don't rewatch movies much. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I mean, I can kind of see that because you're not one to waste time that you
No.
Yeah.
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 Mm-mm.
Okay, I
And I've
get
already
that.
seen it once. I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What fictional character do you most relate to?
Most relate to. I mean, I adore Harry Potter, but I don't know if I relate to him as much. I probably would relate more to Hermione from Harry Potter
Okay.
growing up. She is on task. She's always on task, always focused on what she was doing. And I feel like that was me as a kid. And I was not ever really worried about as much like how other people feel or they respond to stuff. But Hermione's not a bad person. She's a good person. She'd help anybody, but she's busy.
Yeah.
I feel like I was like that
That's
growing up.
absolutely you.
I think I would probably want to be more like, oh, Amy Winehouse, like more like edgy and like if I had more like, and she's not fictional, she's dead, so that doesn't count. Yeah, that's not fictional. That's like somebody that's passed away, though. I was just reading about they're about to do a 12-year anniversary thing for her right now.
Oh,
Her parents
really?
are. Yeah, this
Oh,
book with all of her
cool.
notes and journal stuff. And I'm a big Amy Winehouse fan.
Mhm.
Let me go back fictional. Who would I really like if I could pick somebody I wanted to be like? I don't know. I think all I got's Hermione.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Alright.
Yeah, fictional characters. I mean, like Rudolph, but that would be weird. If I
So
wanted to be a reindeer, wouldn't it?
I don't know, you would be very important and you would have, you
A
know,
job. I'd have a
you
job
would
to
have one
do.
of the
I
most
would.
important jobs
Job.
in all the
Yeah,
world,
I
you
would.
know?
Delivering gifts to kids. Here
Yeah,
we are.
yeah. So this is, another question that has come in from your
Why are
Q&A
you laughing?
because it's funny,
Okay.
and you're gonna laugh whenever you hear it too.
Okay, here we go.
Who is your favorite friend and why is it Melissa? I told you.
Which Melissa is this?
I'm
Is it Melissa
gonna
Horvath or Melissa Sweet?
I don't know, I'm gonna assume that it's Melissa Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite friend and why is
Yeah.
it Melissa?
I felt like we had to ask that question
That is
because
so funny. I
yeah,
love you, Melissa. I bet it was Melissa Sweet too.
yeah,
I figured it probably was
yeah.
too. Yeah.
Can you tell us one thing about yourself that most people aren't aware of?
I'm such an open book. So that's interesting. I have a short thumb.
What?
I have a short thumb.
Hold on. Can we pause the recording so I can investigate this real quick? Because
Yeah,
what?
look, I have a short thumb.
I mean, how? Why?
Okay,
Is there a
so my
story?
thumbs. Okay, I'm holding them up to the YouTube camera so you can see. I feel like I need to post this on social media, like on my birthday post. So, okay, I know, right? So the funny story is my dad has a short thumb on the left hand because he got it cut off, like in a sheet metal factory that he was working in
Uh-huh.
high school, like in the glove, and they had to go have it sewn on, and it's like all squishy and gross. Well, I have a short thumb on the right hand, and so some people call them hitchhiker thumbs. But what they actually are is I was actually sucking on my thumb in the womb, which I mean, like we don't have ultrasound for this because they didn't get ultrasounds back then, unless there was something wrong. But it forms to the shape of the roof of your mouth. So like one of my thumbs is short. See it? Can you see it now?
I can see it.
See, and one's long. You never knew that?
I didn't
Yeah, I got
know
a short thumb.
that. I
I've
mean,
got a
that's a
short
very
thumb.
unique story, though.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's kind of weird, but okay.
I mean, you sucked on your
Yeah, then
thumb in the
my
womb.
dad has webbed feet and webbed hands. So when Crew was born 10 weeks early and they're like putting him on a vent because he can't breathe, I'm like, does he have webbed feet?
Stop
And they're
it.
like, what? And I'm like, are his feet and hands webbed? Because I'm laying on the delivery table and he's over there with the nurses, you know? And they're like, no, he's got 10 and 10. I'm like, okay, great.
Oh my
Like, and I had no,
goodness.
I mean, I didn't know. It was the first time you deliver a premature baby. You
Yeah.
don't know what you don't know,
Yeah.
right? That he was actually like needed actual medical intervention and not them counting his fingers and toes. So yeah.
Yeah.
First time mom. Clearly, I had my priorities in order.
Yeah, I know how that feels. All right, so every episode you do a little segment called Trivia in the Trenches.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So,
So,
this is
we're gonna
payback.
we're gonna take a break from our questions for your Q&A, and we're
Okay.
gonna do Trivia in the Trenches.
Okay.
So, all right, I had no reasoning behind this. I just thought
Is it syphilis again? Like what I did with RJ
it is
Hawk?
not
Oh my gosh.
anything like
Yeah, I
that.
know. That was
Okay.
hilarious.
What is the top Best Picture nominated movie title at the Oscars?
Say it one more time.
What is the top Best Picture nominated movie title at the Oscars
This year?
of all time?
Titanic.
Yes.
Is that it?
Yes.
Oh my God. I can't believe I knew it.
So Titanic,
What?
that was
Okay, I've also watched that movie a million times, even though
But
not a
you
movie.
don't
I
rewatch
know,
it?
but that one was like epic. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm flying. You know?
No.
Yeah.
Oh my
No.
gosh.
You don't want me to sing on the bow of the
I'm
boat?
king of the
Yeah.
world. That's what he says.
Is that what it is? I thought she said, I feel like I'm flying. Or what?
I think she says that whenever,
Something like
but he's
that.
the one that screams
Okay.
like, yeah, I'm
Okay.
king of the world.
Oh, now I have to rewatch it. So, I can
So
far.
Titanic was released in 1997, and it holds the record for the most nominations earned by a single film. Do you know how many nominations it holds?
13.
14.
I was so close. How do I know this?
And how many Oscars has it?
7.
11.
Ooh.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but hey,
I was trying.
I didn't
Go for
stump you.
You didn't stop me. You're going to try
Dang
again.
it.
Come back next
Okay.
time.
Okay.
Try again.
Okay. All right. So let's take a break too. And I brought you a little something else.
You did?
Yeah, I
Okay.
did. I mean, you can see
Oh,
it. The
there it
cameras
is.
just can't
There
see
it
it.
is.
So since it's your birthday,
Oh,
we are going
yay.
to
I have a cupcake.
I'm not gonna make you eat the cupcake on
Okay,
camera, but I can sing
Give
to
me
you.
light my own
Yeah.
candle.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. If you're listening, you can't see this, but if you're watching on YouTube, be sure you're subscribing to our channel so you can see all these random things that we do,
Yeah.
like cupcakes on my birthday. Okay, do I get to go make a wish?
I'm going to sing to you.
I know, but then I get to make a wish? Okay, I'm
Absolutely.
ready. Are you ready?
Happy birthday to ya.
Yeah,
Happy
yeah.
birthday. Happy birthday to
You can
ya.
sing.
Can I?
Yeah, that
Okay.
was
Well,
good.
thank you.
Okay, now
All
I
right,
get to
ready?
now
Yeah,
I
go.
get to make a wish. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, wish.
Oh.
Oh. Okay, I'm blowing over the microphone and I missed it the first time. All right.
I am so happy to
Thank
be able to spend your
you.
birthday episode with you.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Thanks for
Yeah.
giving me that yummy cupcake.
You're welcome.
Now we got
Okay.
smoke all over the room.
Hope the smoke detectors don't
Yeah,
go
it's
off.
start going in the middle of the
We'll have
episode.
to pause for that if
Yeah.
it happens. Okay, I've just got a few more questions left, but I saved some of the best for last.
Oh gosh,
Okay.
so these make me think.
No, I've got some fun, happy ones in here
Okay.
too that are more light, but
Some depressing ones, and so it's okay.
I don't.
I'm kidding. You
Oh my gosh, your candle just relit.
Did you buy the surprise candles
did
that
not.
don't go off?
I did
The
not.
candle literally
It
just
would have
relit.
already relit.
Oh my gosh. Okay. It's like the smokiest candle of all time. This episode should be sponsored by Walmart. Walmart.com.
Okay, we good?
Walmart pickup.
Yeah, I did not buy the relightable one,
Here
so
we
that
are.
was just a coincidence, I guess.
Let's do it.
Okay. What is your favorite question to ask on your podcast? That's when you have your guests on. What's your favorite question to ask?
So I usually try to figure out how somebody failed. And like I don't say this like when did you fail? But like when I have someone on, if I know something like didn't go well in their business journey, their life journey, I usually try to bring it up because I think it's important to be authentic.
Well, this is the Grit Crusade.
Yeah, it is. And I think it's important for people to understand that even though you find success, it's like gardening, okay? Like I'm a terrible gardener, but I love it. And so the only difference in me and like a new gardener is I kill more plants. So I have more plants, but that's because I've killed more to get there. Same thing in life and in business. Like you see the success that people have, but really they've probably just failed more than you if you're not quite there yet, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like there's so many times it doesn't go right. I'm like living proof of that.
Well, and thank you too for putting your failures out there for the
Yeah.
world to see so that they know that like they're not alone.
You're not alone.
You know?
That's the worst feeling in the
And
world.
that takes a lot of bravery to be able to
think after
air out your own dirty
yeah, I
laundry.
think after you screw up as much as I have, you just go for it.
Yeah, well, you know.
But it is not easy at the beginning. No, it's
We
not.
can
for
always
sure.
count on you to keep it real, though.
I can.
That's for
I'm
sure.
gonna keep it real.
So.
I'm gonna keep it real. Some people don't like it, but that's okay.
Oh well.
Yeah. Rather be someone's shot of whiskey than everyone's cup of tea. Is that how it goes?
Ooh, I like that.
I think I've heard that before. That's not
Okay.
my quote, but that's a good one.
I like that. What is your favorite memory as a Razorback cheerleader?
Oh, hit that line, keep on going. All right down the field. Okay, so we went
I
to
thought we were gonna do. I was gonna do your raw raws.
Go.
I was.
It's go Hogs if you're a cheerleader though. So
okay.
yes.
See, these are insider things that I didn't know.
Go Hogs.
Okay.
Yeah. On the nose, raise your back to the finish. Carry on with all your might.
Or it's A-R-K-A-N S-A-S
Arkansas. Fight, fight, fight. Hogs.
I like
we have
it.
we have like little hogs at all the end. So anyway, okay. Favorite memory. So man, there's a lot. I've told the story about flying on the airplane with Frank Broyles before. So that is the probably best looking back memory. I didn't even realize how special it was at the time because he was actually still like working for the Razorbacks then. So I flew on an airplane, a little 4-person plane from Fayetteville to Little Rock when the USS Razorback submarine came and docked permanently in North Little Rock. And now it's like a museum you can go tour and whatnot and all that. And so I'm sitting face to face with Frank Broyles down and back on a plane. And now he's passed away and he's a legend.
Did you know back then like that?
I didn't know the grandeur of him. Like I knew that he had been around forever. I knew that he was our athletic director.
So maybe kind of like
I knew that
for today's listeners and kids, maybe like a Steve Sullivan,
like
maybe?
Steve Sullivan, yeah.
Okay.
But but Frank was like the whole reason there's a bypass that goes to Northwest Arkansas now and not the pig trail had to do with him. You know, like he was so instrumental in so many infrastructure things that have to do with up there. In that part of the state that's not even directly related to Razorbacks and the tradition and just all the things. And there were people that came before him that laid that foundation too. But he is such a legend. And so that is a special moment for sure. So we were in Auburn one time and Houston Nutt was the football coach. I'll get chills on this one. Okay. So Auburn has a very nice stadium and they so imagine you have like the end zones. Okay. The corner of the end zone was landscaped. I know this sounds really weird. There was like landscaping somehow right there. Like it wasn't like seats, but it was like on the field side, but the seats are kind of above it. And we beat Auburn. And I'm standing right next to Houston Nutt and Darren McFadden, and the cameras are all there, and the band's playing the fight song. And I mean, we were lit. I mean, we were lit. It was insane. So that was like one of the coolest wins. My senior year, we got to go to the SEC championships in football and basketball. We went to a bowl game in Orlando. We went to the NCAA tournament, and so that was really neat. I had a great senior year because our basketball team had struggled for a lot of years before that.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun. Then there's just special memories like now that it hasn't happened as much lately because I'm turning 39. But when I was more like early 30s, we would have new kids signing up at the gym and at Empire Kids, and their parents would bring up pictures of me with their kids when I was the cheerleader. And like they didn't know me, I didn't know them then, right? But we did all the pep rallies were even as probably more fun to be in the community and connecting with those kids and special needs adults and elderly and things like that. Where we were spreading like the Razorback culture. And like we would get on to Tusk and ride the trailer all the way down to what they're called the Road Hogs, which is the RV park. And they go to like all the games, and we would do a Road Hogs pep rally every Friday night before we went and did the actual pep rally at the Greek Theater. And just those community connections it was just phenomenal to be able to bring that kind of vibe and that excitement to people. And I've said this before on the podcast, like I didn't want to cheer anywhere else. I didn't want to go to college anywhere else. Like I just wanted to be a Razorback cheerleader. Like it was my dream. And it's still now is just so it was just the best. It was the best experience ever.
That's pretty cool.
Great.
Yeah. What are the most helpful resources that have helped you along the way?
Ooh, the most helpful resources. So obviously building relationships with other people that are a little ahead of you in the journey. Sometimes it's nice to hear really inspirational speakers that could be 20 or 30 years ahead of you in the journey, but sometimes that seems so far away for you to get to that point. And sometimes it's just knowing people that are a year or two are doing the same job as you, and maybe they're at a more established company. Having people like Meg and Jen at Kids First in Ohio, like they're doing the same job we're doing right now. And to be able to, and they call us too, and having that reciprocal relationship, so that's been a huge resource. The other thing is finding a time management system that works for you. You cannot be successful if you can't manage your time. You can't be successful if you can't manage your money. Like you have to manage time like money, and it has to be well spent. It doesn't have to be perfect. There's going to be days when you're tired, and you don't get anything done. And there's going to be days where you kick it, but you have to have a way that you're constantly reevaluating, keeping up with, and protecting your time. So having those relationships, having time management, and then having hobbies. So
It's very important.
I'm so much of a better leader and a better person because I do things that I enjoy, not with the people I work with. Now I say that because I spend like half the year, I spend almost every single day with the people I work with.
I'd say more than half the year.
I mean, because like when we travel, we're in travel season, like we're together all the time. Like I'm seeing my team.
I'd probably say 3/4 out of the year.
So I love them. We go to concerts together. We go to dinner together. We do that. But you also need to have something that's not that, because you have to have somewhere else that you're known that's not your work role. You got to have another hat, whether it's girlfriends, boyfriends, high school friends, college friends, alone time,
book clubs,
online. Like I've got this Facebook group that I'm a member of called Happy Gardens. And there's like 150,000 people in there. And I'm pretty sure it's like me and retired people all from across the like US and Australia and Canada. And I love this Facebook group so much. And they're always posting like the coolest garden stuff. And it's so nerdy, but I love it. Like it's such a cool Facebook group. And so it doesn't matter what your thing is.
It's still a community.
You got to have a thing. You got to have a thing. And if you don't have a hobby, and I was the person who didn't have hobbies, like before the pandemic, no hobbies right here. I had no hobbies. I also had like a 3-year-old. So there's seasons where that's hard.
Right.
But I was like, I want to have hobbies. I didn't know what they were going to be, but now I hike and I I deer hunted then too, but deer hunting's like such a small window. Like I wanted something that was
And it's
more.
during your busiest
It is during my
season.
busy season, but I'm gonna take a week off this year. I
Mhm.
decided, claiming it.
Yeah.
And so I started gardening, and then Justin and I hike, and so we're not good at either one of them. But that's fine to
You
not be
enjoy
good at
it.
hobbies. There's nobody needs anything from me in those hobbies.
Right.
There's no timeline, there's no finish, there's no end, there's no race. It's just there.
Yeah.
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 So let's be probably three of the resources. That and sleep. Good sleep.
Mhm.
Gotta have that
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
sure. Oh gosh. When you chuckle before you ask the question, it makes me nervous.
It's just a fun question. Where would you bury hidden treasure if you had some?
How do you know I don't have any?
Oh, maybe you do.
Maybe I do have
Okay.
hidden treasure. Where would I bury hidden treasure? Well, if I tell you, then it wouldn't be hidden. Hello. I don't know. Maybe under my house. I have. I've been watching
I want
these
to see
true crime.
you go under your
I know
house.
I'm not going
Yeah.
under my house.
No.
I've been watching these true crime shows where like people have been buried dead bodies under their houses, and so I feel like it's like a pretty safe place to be like under your house.
Uh-huh.
Where else would I bury hidden treasure? Like if I like buried it in the deer woods, I feel like somebody would like find it, and then it'd be like 6 months before I even knew it was gone. So I don't know. I kind of feel like I want to keep it close to me, but I don't know. Like, I mean, I also hear about people renting like storage buildings in like far off countries
Really?
and just putting their stuff in there that's like super valuable.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So the reason I kind of asked that question, and
Do
then
you have hidden treasure buried?
maybe.
Oh.
No, so I saw like I don't know, it was a show I was watching on TV or something, and it was like if you had committed a crime and you still had the murder weapon or
Yeah.
the evidence, like where would you hide it in your house?
I
So
wouldn't hide
hold
it in
on,
my house.
but if you get rid, like if they're coming to check your house, you got
Where
to
is it
hide it.
hiding?
And like some of the things that like people were
What
in
did
the
they say?
comments, like, okay, if you had a candle and you melted it all the way down, like, and it was small enough that you could bury it in the wax, and then the candle, like, the
Okay.
wax. See,
Fair enough.
you see what I mean?
Yeah,
So, like,
that's thoughtful.
but these are things that like people have actually
Thought of. Yeah.
and it's just kind of like, hmm.
Yeah.
So now, if I was ever a detective,
You're
if I
going
was,
for the candle wax.
I'm going for the candles. Like,
Absolutely.
I'm gonna
Shatter that
Let's see
candle
what's
and
in
it's there.
here.
Let's melt that sucker
Exactly.
right on the stovetop.
Yeah.
On.
So you say under your house?
I guess. Yeah, I've
Okay.
never even been under my house, but
I was here the day that they came and did your insulation, and I'm never going under your house. So that, yeah,
so there's that.
What superpower would you have?
Oh, invisibility.
Ah.
Yes, I would be invisible. The invisibility cloak from Harry Potter would be real, and I would be invisible because I feel like then you can listen in on all kinds of conversations, and I am so nosy. Like people be telling a story, and I'm like, oh, tell me. Like I don't even know these people. I don't even know what they're talking about. I'm just glad it's not me that they're talking about,
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to hear. I want to hear. I'm like, I don't even do anything with the information. So I'm kind of like when I'm an old lady, I'm gonna sit around like the senior citizen center, and I'm gonna know every single like story about everybody.
You know that you can do that with AirPods in your phone, right?
What?
Yeah.
Be invisible?
You can listen in on conversations and not be in the room. Like for example, if you have your AirPods in,
Okay.
and you leave your phone in a room, and you put it on a certain mode, and you walk out, you can hear it in your headphones. Look it up. Promise you can do it.
Oh man, do you do that?
No, I'm just saying, like you can do it.
I'm like, have you done it? Does it work? Can you actually try it?
We'll try it.
We'll try it. Yeah,
we'll try
All
it.
right.
What is your most successful episode, and why do you think it did well?
Okay, so last time I checked, which has been about a week or so ago, are my most successful episodes. So there's, have loved filming all of them. So let me start there with all of my guests have been amazing and wonderful. So this episode's been several months, so that helps because it helps to have been longer time for people to listen. But Zach Cox, his number one episode all day, every day. Zach was super passionate about coming on the show. He helped spread the word through his own social media channels and throughout his own people. And he gave a really very like peak an insight into raw. That's a good word. Raw and like look into his life and his struggle with alcohol and drugs. And it was just amazing the way he was willing to be that open.
I don't know because it's been a while since I've watched that episode, but when I was here and we were filming it, it was probably like the energy between you guys. Like
Yeah.
it was really good
Yeah,
energy.
absolutely.
So
He's such a fun guy, and his story is amazing, and the work that he's continuing to do with School of Man is amazing. But my episode with Sarah Hare is up there. My
yep.
pilot episode, I think, is number two.
Which I don't know why, but that kind of is surprising to
I
me. I'm like,
know, but maybe it's because it's been on the longest too. So I think that's why I said that caveat of the ones that have just like my RJ Hawk episode is the one that's right before this one. So if you're watching this episode and you like what you see, go back and watch RJ Hawk's episode. It's really fun, but like it's not going to have as many views or any downloads just because it hasn't been on as long,
when
right?
I
So
also considered too for the newer listeners that start listening to you along this journey, maybe they listen to your pilot first to kind of have an understanding about,
who am I and what's
yeah,
going on? Yeah. So the
yeah,
pilot's up there. Our interview is
yeah,
in the top
top
five.
five.
And there's one more in the top five. I'm forgetting. It was another interview.
It was something to do with your business.
No, it was yes, it was the one that it was one was about opportunity
Mistakes you made, or it was
opportunities. It was the
opportunities.
opportunities one,
Yeah.
I think, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so it's been a nice fun combination. So
Yeah.
2 solos and 3 guest interviews. Because
Yeah.
we always go back and forth like, should we keep doing guest interviews? Should I keep doing solos? Is there a certain track that our listeners like better? So if you have a preference on the solo episodes versus the guest interviews, drop it in the comments or shoot me an email at chat@brookplaque.com because we love getting the feedback and kind of knowing what it is you guys are liking to listen to and like kind of connect with the most. Not really liking, but connecting with the
Yeah.
most.
And don't forget too to go onto Brooke's website and fill out her form if you or you know someone that you think might be a good guest on her show.
You know, we haven't even like announced on social media, which by the time this episode drops, we will have
Mhm.
announced on social media that the episode or that the website's live. Our new
Yeah.
website's live. So
Yeah.
brookplaque.com.
And you've also got suggestions for topics on there too.
Oh yeah, if
And
they want,
yeah.
yeah,
So if you
topic
guys have any ideas,
suggestions.
be sure to go and fill out those forms for us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks,
Yeah,
Dia. What's that
absolutely.
plug? Get
Well,
there. Sponsored
yeah.
by Dia Bates. There we go. Yeah, love it.
What's one piece of advice you can share with listeners?
Girl, I feel like all I do is share advice with
I
listeners.
know.
Okay. One piece of advice. I mean, this won't surprise you, but be authentic. You know, there is only one you. Your DNA combination will never exist again on this planet, and it will never be erased either. You know, there's and the Bible says there's nothing new under the sun. But there's only one you. There's one soul in you. The Bible tells us the soul has one trip around. You don't. It doesn't go
Absolutely.
anywhere else. Now, what happens to your mind and your spirit are things that I'm still like very interested in investigating and learning more about. But you only get this one trip, and so be authentic. Even if it's weird and quirky, and you play some dumb game that people made fun of you for in high school, if that's what you love, do it because like now that there's the internet and the connectiveness that we have on social media, like you can always find your tribe, even if they're not in your town or in your state, you know, around you. So I think being authentic is the being not being authentic is the root of so many
Yeah.
things that are hard for us in life. You know,
Yeah. That's good.
I think a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression, a lot of stress comes from not being authentic.
Yeah. I would have to agree with that.
I mean, and a lot of that comes from fear and shame too. You know,
Mhm.
it's been instilled in us. That's
Be
sad.
yourself and own it.
Yeah, own it.
Yeah.
That is the most attractive thing about a human
Mhm.
is them being confident in who they are.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, here's my final question.
Ooh, getting to the end. Okay.
Yeah. What's next for you?
Oh, I'm writing a book. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I have had this dream. And it seems like a mountain to me. But have learned this podcast was a mountain, you know, 9 months ago and 10 months ago. And so this is another mountain. Once you get at the top of a mountain, it doesn't seem like the climb was that hard, you know? But so writing a book for me has been a dream probably since I was probably about 12. I've always wanted to be an author. And, you know, you don't just make money being an author. So I got big girl jobs and did the things and all of that. And so now I'm still working and still having big girl jobs, but I'm also carving out some time to write a book. And so I've started, as of this recording, I've started writing the first chapter. So hopefully I wouldn't say it's the first chapter. I started writing a chapter. So I'm trying to free myself from thinking that this is the book and this is the chapter. Like it's a book
Ooh, I like that.
and it's a chapter. And I'm just trying to write a draft. It's not the draft.
Can you tell us anything about like what it might be about?
Yeah. So I'll give you a little bit. So we don't have a title yet.
Okay.
But we're going to be working through objections that you have in life to what you can do next. So I have found in my journey that there are lots of resources out there for people to get off the couch.
Mm-hmm.
Couch to 5K, get up and, find your dream job, start a business. But
Mhm.
like once you've done that and you've found some reasonable amount of success in life, it's kind of the next like, okay, now I want to keep going. Now what? Now
Mhm.
what do I do? What do I like? Maybe your kids are grown, or maybe you are finally financially stable, or maybe and you have this brain space to go, I want to take my career to the next level, or I want to start my own business, or I want to go into ministry, or whatever it is, or you just want to be better at you. How do you do that? And we come up with all of these lies that we believe. And some of them have been implanted in us since we were very young. That you're not good enough, you're not tall enough, you're not skinny enough, you're not rich enough, and a lot more. But how do you combat that? How do you overcome that and keep
Mhm.
going, even in the face of fear, even when you're scared?
Well, I can't wait to read it.
Yeah, me neither. So writing it has been fun. I have learned something about myself in the writing process. So I
And
have,
what is that?
yeah, I
What have
have
you learned?
yep. So I have a business coach. Her name's Ruthie,
Mhm.
and somehow she's now kind of become a writing coach
Okay.
versus a business coach, and she's gifted in this. So it's a
Mhm.
really great pair. So I titled my chapters. My chapter titles are very paramount to what's going to happen in the chapters. And so I've got all the chapter titles finished and I'm writing the first chapter. And then I'm like, but maybe the title should be, but maybe this
I
should
know where this is
say, yeah.
going.
So I'm a recovering perfectionist.
Mhm.
And so she's been really working with me through just put those thoughts in the parentheses next to what you're writing and keep going.
I
You
like it.
can't edit and write at the same time. Editing is a different skill than writing. And I'm normally a writer editor and like my blog post and my Facebook post and all the
Yeah.
things. And so being able to push myself through the flaws and keep going is a new skill I'm having to
Well,
learn.
I'm proud of you for that because I know how that perfectionism can kind of come out in you. And
Yeah.
yeah,
And
that's
it gets in the
big.
way and then it's debilitating and then it causes an undue amount of anxiety. And then there's this like crazy weight on you where you feel like you actually can't get anything done, but it's all made up in your head.
Yep.
None of it's real.
It goes back to what you said earlier about the lies that we
Yeah,
believe.
the lies that we believe.
Yeah.
It's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that is all the questions that I have for you. So, do
Oh,
I get to wrap it up?
yeah,
Do
you
I
get to
get to
wrap
do
it
it?
up.
Do
You
you
get to
go?
wrap it
Okay.
up. Yes.
Until next time.
You've been listening to the Grit Crusade podcast with Brooke Plack. Our theme song is Thunder City by Lunar Ray, licensed through Soundstripe. This podcast was produced by Luminate Media Group. Thank you for listening, and we will see you on the next episode.